Hey everybody, welcome back to your Git learning journey with Tech Inspire SL. And I'm excited how far we have gone. Day zero, we did our setup and installation. Day one, we learned how to use some basic terminal commands, and today we're going to look at basic Git commands. So before we start, make sure say we don't complete day one and also day two, because without them, you actually not going for complete day two also. So let's start with the question: waiting now Git. So take Git as a time machine where they take it back in time for let you see waiting be changed for your code or your file, waiting you be add, waiting you been delete. So like they take it back in time for see what you don't do. And or we'll make it simple, just take it now as a magical camera. So instead of taking pictures of people, Git now go use that magical camera for take pictures of your code, and then pictures on the way they take we call a snapshot. Just so like normal when you take picture of person, say color snap view, it's the same thing. So calling pictures and the way they take off your code, snapshots. And these are some of the things that we need to know about Git. One is that anytime you make a change, Git they keep the record of that particular change that we don't make. So if you go back in time, it is able for show you what you will do, whether now you text you add, whether now you file you delete, whether you add a text or you change the text. So Git able for you remember all that. Then number two is that anytime we go back in time, like for compare past code and present code, going for see waiting change and waiting are the difference. For example, if you work on a particular file, let's say name.txt. So the past one it writes your first name, then the present one now we still work on the same file that you don't write now your first name and second name or your surname also. So you're able to use Git for compare and see the different what you don't do and what you do can do right now. So like what you be doing at the past and what you do not present. Then third is that if you accidentally delete a file, they use Git for help you recover them back or forget them back. And the last one is that Git enable multiple people then for work on a single project. So one common thing where you get for the use whenever they use Git, the word commit. So commit just like just take a normal as a snapshot where like it they use for take a snapshot. It use for take a snapshot of your code. Just like I be say, lots of people they take pictures of, but now you code they take pictures of. So now we go look at some terminal commands, then Git commands, then where we go learn today. So the first one get for be Git init. So Git init now just a way of telling Git say, hey, this folder we are Day-2 now I will let you watch them for me. For example, if we go now and open File Explorer, then we go and save your code. Yeah, save your code. Now this folder save your code. So inside the terminal, once we don't see the inside we folder, we don't navigate inside it. Now if we use Git init, they tell Git now say, hey, this folders what they into now, I will let you watch them for me for anything with the change. So now you don't tell Git and fully watch them for me. So the next command will be Git status. Git status now a way of telling Git say, hey, tell me what in the happen or show me what in the happen or tell me what you don't change. So if we put it into practice, so in the terminal, let's say you copy a file, for instance this hello.txt. Now you make a copy of them, right? You don't get hello copy. So now Git is able for show you the moment you use Git status. Git is able for show you say yes, you don't add a new file when a hello copy. Before you only get one folder and two files when a hello.txt, name.txt, but now you don't add a new file when a hello copy. So Git is able to keep track of all landing. And the next command will be git add. Git add now a way of telling Git say, hey, I already prepare this file for me for snapshots. So you just select number you gonna studio. Before you get forward, snap for let and snap, you get for dress, you get for makeup, if you did makeup or do other things before. You actually snap me then snap you. Then the next command now git commit. So this you will take on as the actual snapshot. Okay. So now the git commit, sorry, the git add now the way of telling git say, hey, this particular file I don't work on, or I want me to watch this particular, or I want me to stage for me this particular file. So now just select them all, say okay, dress, then they can't take a picture of you, or they can't take a snapshot of you. So the git app just signify now say okay, don't dress you particular file. Then when you use git commit, that means now you don't prepare now for can snapper. So the moment you use git commit, you just type now, so you don't take a snapshot of that particular file, right? Then the next command will be git log. So git log, this now just a way where like for like git show you history, like thing that we don't do in the past, or you commit say we don't save the snapshot, that you just select number way to go back and look at all photos and yeah, something like that, you know. And the next one will be git log dash dash one line. So you notice here we get this dash dash one line. So this now the same with git, but sorry, not the same with git log, but the only difference is that it make everything straightforward. For instance, so now let's say all on there, so we don't use git add, but we don't stage and write. And if we use git log, they see something like this. You know, every picture that your phone get a timestamp, every snapshot gets a timestamp, date stamp, and even sometimes location if you enable them. So let's just take this number as git, we don't git clone there, right? So they take this as we commit, message them, file folder, text document. So this then now date and timestamp. So now we use git log when I just this all the ordinary log also. We use it they show you all the information there, the timestamp, date, and commit message, right? And also an ID. So if you use git log dash dash one line, what thing they do? They simplify for you everything. So instead of show you all in time stamp then they right now only the file or you folder it show, right? But inside the terminal, not to folder or file in for sure. Now you exact commit message where you use for that particular snapshot, say. But to put it into practice, you understand. So then command there also now and they will call them. So the next thing they do before open your terminal, we're gonna bash git bash. Once you don't open that, I will place the text. It's okay. So now the next thing we get for do navigate to you save your code folder or save your code personal folder. Anywhere way you will we start for work on from day one. It's okay. So now I will see it into OneDrive when I day in there. So if I ls now, you notice yes, I get save your code. If you get save your code practical or save your code personal, it's okay. Or if you already get a particular folder where you choose for working, it's okay, it's part of the learning again. So now I will see the inside save your code. Remember, you can use tab for to complete select shortcut and back. So you press enter ls, we see with previous files there. So now we can use pwd if you want to confirm, say yes, now they did. So they inside save your code. So now we need to actually create a folder where we will tell git say, hey, I may watch this folder for we, where we use the git init, right? So if you can now with terminal, we can use the command mkdir for create the folder. So this folder is now we call on day2. So go for cd inside day2, then we can use pwd for confirm. Then also yes, we then inside day2. So now we can go now and use the command git init. So we first git command all this git init. So now watch look clear the screen, we can use Ctrl L, clear the screen. So now watch wetin the app will use git in it. As you press enter, so git they return this message here, so as an output say initialize empty git repository in. Then they show you the folder or the file path where you do that. So they make something this appear. This now an invincible file of a folder where git they create. So now inside so git they do all the magic stuff there. So any file where you stage and you take a picture of, git they keep a record of one. So whenever you come again and use the command git log, now inside this file folder, so git they actually look if you get any record way it will show you. So if you use ls for list, git they return and nothing as an output, meaning like the file is empty, but it actually gets this file inside. So but there is a command way they use for actually see when ls dash -l, like list all file, we can use -l including hidden file. So all the folders there, so we get this dot here, so meaning hidden folders there. So like git now they actually show with you normal ls, or even inside you GUI git you GUI also know they show that particular folder the winner .git, right? So now back to we terminal. So we clear our screen. We don't use the first git command. So now the second one, when I git status, so if we press enter, within that happen, git they return this output message. So you say on branch master. If you see main, no problem, and they give this other thing again, say no commit yet, and nothing to commit also. I forget something. Not where we first run git init. Let's go back where we first run git init. Before we folder or we file paths, it be plain and empty, right? After we don't run git init, what happen? We start for see this thing here. So some it can be main, some it can be master, but anyway we appear no panic, just a normal thing. Then it depends on the version of git we they use. So now I'm back to we work. So now we don't use git status again and it return this, right? So we need a file where git could keep track of. So whenever we they use git log, git they actually show we they keep a record of inside that .git folder there. So now if we use so before we move further, we need for creative file where git they keep track of. We can use we previous command touch, then we go name our file welcome.txt, press enter, ls, yes, we get we first file inside Day-2 folder. And now if we use again the command git status, watch waiting to happen. Now you get a different message. So instead of no commit, so instead of this previous message we've been get when on branch, main or master, anyone where you see no commit yet, so now it return a different message. It say on track file welcome.txt. so now this message they tell you say git don't actually see your file, but create a way for it keep track of them. Remember you need to take a picture of them, so you will get a record. So whenever they look at your album again, you see the past picture that you don't take and keep. So now git don't see this file as well at the welcome.txt, but even get track of them. It will keep track of them. So the next command if we move forward, let's take something and put them inside this way file and so now. So you can open them inside your text editor or code editor, and we can input a note inside it. Then we save. After we don't save, we can close that. We come back now with terminal. So if we run git status again, we see the same thing. Sorry, make a mistake. git status. Yeah. They say output gist no way me give it because still they keep track of it. So now for lay we make git could they keep track of we first need for stager. Remember we use the command git add. So when they use git add, they tell git now say hey I can prepare this file and so for stage just like we go now a studio you get for the guys. If you get for makeup you get for makeup before ever you go to snap or then take a snapshot of you. So if we use now git add, therefore specify the file where we want for stage because you go to studio then you want snap you say hey all my way can studio na color can snap now except if people then go for go take good picture and they say okay now color can take pictures of now but different people then go they don't even know themselves need to call them all so na color can take a picture of now they call individually. So now you get for do they do now individually when are the welcome.txt. Now if we use git status again, what you think they happen? Press enter, it don't change. Before we get a red text right on track file. So now what did happen? We not get an on track file again. It say change to be committed. New file welcome.txt, which means git don't they keep track of this file here. So now so with next command when our git commit. So if we go now clear our screen control s, we can use now git commit, then we can use this flag here so we now dash f for commit message. So now whenever you type in a long string of text that you terminal, always start out with open quotes and also end out with a quote again. You can use single or double, all are the same, but rules and they whenever you use single or double quotes, maybe I will make a bonus video for that they explain that. But if you try you go into an error and no hesitate for ask or for pass through that error there. So now we don't use git commit and we'll get to -m flag. So now we need for enter with commit message. This commit message now is something we go help you for remember what we do. So every message we they do, make sure say it makes sense. Make sure say where they go back in your past if you're able to understand what you do, or if other developers back then come and look at you work, then go able to know exactly what you been do for that particular file there. So can I enter a very good commit message? We'll say add welcome.txt and end again with a quote with txt file, right? File and that with a quote again, and when you press enter git they return this output for you. So now if we go again and use git status, that's different message now. So instead of this we also change commit to be committed for now the new file welcome.txt. We first use git add welcome.txt and we use git status for now with the happen inside we current folder we don't initialize with our git day2 folder. So this not a folder actually current right now. The moment you run git init, we'll call them again a folder. We will call them a repository or a local repository, or for short to say local repo. So this now a local repo. Why local repo? Because of now you machine in the your computer or any other devices that we use. So now we'll be use git we use git add and we use git status for know what's in the PowerPoint. Git return this output here. So for say change to be committed, that means say you don't actually take you don't actually make up this file, so you don't dress so now you need for come put in okay they're already ready now. What the W wants to say, it's already ready. You don't already prepare for can take a picture of them. So when are the git commit for take picture of her. So if we come here, so again the next thing what we do, we use git commit and we enter with this flag here, so dash when for commit message, and we enter a very good commit message we got before you remember. And when we use git status again, so it return a different output message. So it say nothing right there again for commit. That means we already make up that particular file when our welcome.txt, and we don't take a picture of them. So git don't already keep a record of them. So now we want to see we history, like we would all work for the whole day. We need for look at we history and see what here or probably where we take pictures of, or we file the way we take a snapshot of. So we can now go and use the next command when I git log. Now you can change the app, return this whole thing here. So you see this commits, this now an ID, identification number that they ever be the same, it can be different. So this now is string of letters and number, and the ID make up of for you git, right? Then get author, this they specify the particular person we do that change day, or we do that particular snapshot day. So now this now me Mohammed Spadumbia, and even gets me email when I this one. So then just like we see every snapshot, every picture get a time stamp and also a date stamp. So it's the same thing again, time and date. So if you use git log and we use this flag here, so when I dash one line, what you think happen? So instead of it show we all the thing that also it is for we just one green line where only we commit message. So this is very important if you get a lot of changes that we don't do for a particular day. They can look at your history, and so instead of show you or you make and show you all them but thing there also, you can just go direct, especially if you want to look for quitting and you just want to look at a particular commit message will be made in the past, so you will see what you've been doing. So this and then this now they come inside this dash one line. So we'll do everything over again and practice them again fresh. Starting from git add would already initialize, so we need to double initialize them again. And if you double initialize, look what's in the git in it. Now you see this initialize existing git repository. So this we don't do them before, so no need again. So we'll practice them again. We will create another file we will call second.txt. So now I'm not going to go again through the normal process. When I touch for create free empty folder, we can use the command echo. We'll be use echo for actually put a text inside a particular file, right? So now this echo this have two purposes again. It can use say hey, put this text here so inside this file here. So if it not exist now for creator, if it exists now for just look for it and put it inside it. Nothing change, not just the same thing no more. Now see we command echo waiting we want for put inside that we file. So we'll say this, okay, this is my second file, right? Then we enter again with quotes. Why? Because we use space inside it. So the moment you run echo, we not use this one, so they get an error. Then we use this with for so you see now put this text here so inside the second .txt. So now this they look for second.txt. If you not see them, you get for creator and put the text inside it. If you see them, you just put it the text inside it. So now if you press enter, it's on anything. So we ls I don't get second.txt. We can use the command cat, and cat means stand for contacting it. So for look inside if a file and see the content inside it. We can now enter second and see we get this is my second file. If if we go again to with GUI and open this one, we will see we text again. This is my second file. So now back to the terminal, we clear our screen. Now we can go and use git status. Then the same error, the same output will be get again on track file. Git don't see we file where we don't create second.txt, but it's not able to keep track of format. So you go whenever they use git log, it give they include them as a history or a thing, a past thing we don't do. So now we can use git add for actually stage them. Just like we don't count this now second.txt inside with studio. Now cameraman don't see them. So this post here, so second.txt needs for actually prepare himself. So they use now git add for actually prepare them or stage them for snapshot. So git add second.txt. So now we don't stage them, and if you see a message like this, no worry too much about them. So it can appear on some terminal, sometimes not can appear, but not just in one thing. Then you can use now the next command. So now this you don't actually prepare yourself. Now you don't make up, you don't get follow and take pictures of them. So they use now git commit for actually take a snapshot of them. So git commit dash m, don't forget this also. Then we also get for enter with commit message. So now they say add second dot txt file. Then we enter again with double quote, and we'll press enter. It return this where it shows here we succeed. So we clear the screen. Then if we check again git status, now nothing not again for commit. So the people that already be there now we studio, we don't take pictures of them, so everything done. So now we don't work for the day, local look at we history. So we go use now git log. So now before we get one commit history when at this. So now because of we don't take pictures of two people, that we don't get two snapshots. So now we're gonna with history, we don't get two log them, right? So we can use again that we previous command when I git log dash dash one line, git log dash dash one line. So now waiting that happen. Instead of give all this detail, especially just like I say, if you get plenty of history is there for look at. Maybe you know go and look at whether do this or whenever or a particular time will happen, but you know say this now you do one and you use a specific message where you look for. So you can use now git dash dash one line. So this now they only return just a single line of that particular blog when I adjust the message. Yeah, and it can even specify how much line you for return. So for instance, if you get up to 5 or 10 histories there, so maybe just one look at the 2 recent or the only 1 recent commits where we don't make. So you can specify low clear screen. You can use now git log dash dash one line then you can use another flag again. This now a flag where we use the use another flag again with a dash. Then the inputs now the number of log that we want we git return for it. So now since we max commits so or we max log and only 2, so we only want for the git return 1 when at the recent one. So we enter now number 1 and we press enter. So you see the recent one I return, and if you get like 5, 10, 20, you can specify say okay git for each one sorry it's on just one line, a max of 5, a max of 1, a max of 2. So these are everything we do. First, we initialize we folder when I for turn a normal folder into a local repository when I be git init we use. Then we use git status for check waiting they happen or waiting currently they go on inside a particular folder where we don't use git init one. We then move to git add when I like for prepare a particular file. Just like I be explained, you go now studio, you get for dress, you get for makeup, that the preparation. So like we use git add for actually stage a particular file for a picture. We use git commits to actually take a picture of the particular file where we don't stage. So like the git commits now, we use them for take a snapshot of the proof there we don't ready, where we don't make up, where we don't dress now, they don't prepare themselves. Then move with git log, where like we use them for see we history what we don't do. Then we use git log with this flag also dash one line for actually return a very short history like detail instead of in return a very detailed history. Then we even learn a bonus when I dash if you enter a number for specify how much history log there for return. So you can practice over and over again. You can use different file, different folder for see how best you go to. You can make mistake, yeah, it's common. That didn't help you for practice. I'm sorry for learn more. Of course, mistakes are not part of learning also. So see you for the next one where we could learn how to take this we local repository and put it on the internet. So now when the local only we they see now only we they work on them. Thank you and see you later.